This spray is something. I can smell and taste it. Okay, let's get this inside air going. Let's cleanse it. It's not in the coils. It is what it is. Let's get warm. Shit. Ooh-wee. I went to sleep early last night, everybody. Very off. I know where it's at now to pull it out to deactivate the. I'm still reading it to make sure it doesn't disable the locking, which it shouldn't. When you apply the brakes, I think it still locks you in. I just want to remove the warning, which it's probably gonna start making noise. I'll probably seatbelt on because I need to go ahead and pull it out. It's right up under here. I just haven't felt like it. I've been tired. So what's cracking, everybody? Grand elevations. Well, grand rising to those who waking up out of their slumber. And grand elevations, those actually seeking a better way of life. You see the conflict. I was actually going to put just, did I put gripes? Anyway, I got to turn the internet off, guys. Excuse me. And it wants to act funny. There we go. Anywho, I ate some black currants and the little seeds are in my mouth. Anyway, I'm communicating with people on Instagram video. I have Duo, and I don't care. It's already know what we look like. It sees you in the store. It sees you walking down the street. It sees you everywhere. It sees you on your phone. It's not like, you know what I mean? Regardless of whatever is behind it. But gripes. My IG, I put a video up that I guess you can call, you know, the brother, he's on TikTok like crazy right now. I guess he's lost his other platforms. Green. And he was showing something that I wasn't too sure about. Talking about Israel becoming the 51st state in DC, the land in America. And I remember I always tell y'all that there's a lot of Europeans who have converted to become Jews, and they use certain names to acclimate. And if you know the story of Jacob or whatever, and the dynamics of that, and there's a few other stories out there. Even Gilgamesh, Nimrod. He was a great warrior that took his cloth and made him a giant, a hunter of men and the beast. Gilgamesh, a fallen. When you think about Azrael, Liber, all those different names, everything that people are worshiping or speaking on has everything to do with the Jannah. I'm just going to get to it. So anyway, two little fake Jews, and that's what they are. And my uncles, I had to call one of them. And he said, let me get back with you because they know people listening on the phone. And to convey this. And he says, because you call him a Jew, he'll punch you in your mouth. He's a big old brolic Ashkenaz, you know. I mean, he's dark too. So it's not like, you know what I mean? He says, no, Neff. That's what he calls me, Neff. I could probably 80 years old and he could be 120. I could be 80 and he could be 102. Yeah, about that close in age. And he'll say Neff. He'll call me Neff. And I mean, he loves me to death, all right? That's why I don't have this crayon color thing. I just don't. And I have a knowledge about other history that nobody really seems to know. How can you convey one thing and then carry on another way that shows that you allude to what you say? Anywho, it's based on, he said there's some reality to it. So I didn't really want to research it more. I really don't care because that is the only thing the U.S. actually owns. Now, they have lamented and created this ideology that they control all this out here, which is a lie. It's the people, by the people, of the people, by the people, of the people, for the people, or however you want to put it. And so I posted it. And sure enough, here come two of them little goofy pale skins. One's name not even nowhere near anything the relationship to an Ashkenaz Jew, which they're converts. How do you convert to something that never existed? Exactly, something existed. Why would they say 12 tribes. Anyway, right? And point out to Japan first, then to China. Oh, and oh yeah, oh, some Ethiopians. Oh, and some certain African tribes. This is the blatant disrespect and hysteria. When you look at the old world maps of Africa, there was only 3 tribes, if that there. And we're talking about pre-mud flood. All right? Prior to, if you want to call it the last reset or whatever. Okay? And it can be confused. It can be confused with a lot of things because there's nothing but confusion out here. That's why I don't go by everything. I share it because I want y'all to be intuitive. I want y'all to be able to open your eyes and go, wait a minute, and then start putting things together. And everybody thinks when they put something out there, they know what it is. So my boy Green, though he puts things out there. I used to be on TikTok. I got rid of that crap, and I used to correct him and say, "Yo, you know what? You're wrong." And then I would give him the dynamics, the reference, and the source of it, and not saying the reference and source I gave him, but it was something else that might contradict. Everybody doesn't. What people don't get is when I share something doesn't mean that it's correct. I need you to research it because we're supposed to move as one body, one mind, one people. I didn't want to have to say that. I figured somebody would get that and be like, yo, I get it now. Red is getting us to move like one people without saying it. Here I got to say it and probably blow the cover. One cover out of 1,000. I'm expecting y'all to actually be much brighter and intelligent than what you are. So my gripe is, the liars are going to lie. Whether they live in it truthfully or dishonestly. Honestly or dishonestly. And it's hard for people to let go of something when the climax has reached this crescendo, this, And the other one, if there is no problem with speaking on the vax, and if it's real, and everything being implemented and being done for the people's health, then why the censoring and silencing when that's not legal? See, we're in a free, what they misunderstand, these so-called, I hate the word elites, and these fake government, and all these agenda-filled Luciferian Satanists, whatever the fuck it is they are, it shouldn't matter to you. What should matter to you is what you do. If they were so powerful, and the discourse was to make sure that if they were so powerful, they wouldn't worry about it. But if they need people, the majority of people not to know, then they must censor. That alludes to the fact of the opposite of what they're doing. It shows that they are harming and hurting people. No matter valuetainment, the Irish brother, he's been there most of his life since I think he was 6 or 8. And I love watching him. He was talking with Neil deGrasse, that fraud, worthless piece of scumbucket. And that was the first time I saw it other times. That was the first time I realized Neil deGrasse is nothing but a talking piece. He probably stands in the mirror and has people. He works on being able, you know how it is when you tell so many lies and it becomes fun. It becomes a neurotic game. You become good at it. Okay? A liar is always going to lie. And I listened to the conversation on one side, and then I listened to Neil's, and I was like, I was taken aback for a second, but then I was like, this is obvious. He believes himself to be a sweet talker. Valuetainment. Our Iranian brother wasn't, well, he's American. He wasn't having that. And he knew how to communicate. Me, I have no problem with saying, no, when you call yourself a Jew, I don't have to always implicate or implement fake if you're living. But to call yourself something that you're not, when you should call yourself something that you truly are, and the majority of them don't, they believe in a lie, they exist, I have to call it a lie because you are a convert. A convert is a convert. So if you're a convert, it doesn't mean that you're the latter or the prior. You are just the convert. Bottom line, no matter how much the lie is preached, because all the Zionists at the top don't care about Jew, religion, or anything. Then I said, wow, another Greg. What if it is to make sure that they stay practical and implicate themselves further in their belief? Got to remember, a belief doesn't mean it's a fact. It means you believe in it. A belief is something you believe in. You choose to believe. We as children believe bees and certain insects fly, when in fact they have pockets of air they can harmonically bring to a certain pitch. And what happens is they create a bubble around them, literal bubble, where they actually become one with the 8.5 hertz and they float. And the wings direct, very sloppily so, but yet direct its direction. You have the same abilities, yet if it wasn't for the things we're dealing with, great, number 5, the poison, the toxification right now, what I can smell and taste in the air, I couldn't smell and taste years ago. I can literally smell the toxins in there. Am I worried about it? No, I'm not going to fret about it. The other day, I had to take a piece of the pill. I had an anxiety attack so bad. No, usually I mitigate myself through it, walk, whatever. Not because there's nothing to lie about. Just a quarter. It's not even zero. It's like 0.25 milligrams. It's nothing. That was something to satiate the mind, because I wasn't even racing in thought. I was sitting there and I grabbed my chest like, what the? And the first thing came to my mind was all these cardiac arrests, and I had to get that off my mind, because you can create something. And I said, well, let me calm this, and I just took it because it's not going to hurt. I'm here to get some more wheatgrass, some more cilantro to whip it up. And I said, I want to let y'all know. That was the other day, and it is what it is. I had to formulate something, because 16 years of being on a heavy metal toxin, I don't care who you are, until I can vibrate through goddamn walls, I'm going to have to, whenever I need it, that'll be my go-to. And not while I'm still allowing it to push up my system. That is a heavy metal remover. Any y'all ever had cilantro or parsley milk when you make it compressed? Like a shot, a juice, call it that. That oil from it is a milk, regardless of how it looks, not like cow milk or white coconut milk, whatever. And it tastes metally, or it tastes like butter, like soap. Well, the reason why you're tasting soap is because you have plenty of heavy metals and toxins in your body, because cilantro don't taste like soap, people. Trust me, I know. So with that being said, when you're convinced into one thing because you don't know the truth of the narrative on the other, that is the extent of your knowledge. So a lot of them believe themselves to be Jews, though they don't practice, they're gay, this, that, and whatever. There are those who do, and there are those who will tell you, and they have for decades, who you are. You're the true chosen people. You're the people of this earth. They have said, I've seen it. I've had them tell me, my uncles, listen to me. You can believe what you want, and all these platforms will convert to the lie, because it keeps division and separation. It keeps you from being able to negate a communication, a conversation with other people, so that way other people will know. The problem is, if they're so powerful, it shouldn't matter if people know, because they're already doing, they've implicated what they've been doing. The fact that my brother Mike and a few other people, and a Jamaican girl I know, work at the DMV, and they says, wow, for the last 10, 15 years, and I've said this, they have been doing stamps on passports, and they've noticed all these special forces motherfuckers, Asian, Hindu, walking around on our land like they're vacationing. Let me enlighten you to something. This is gripe number 7. When a motherfucker's given a call to do something, you better believe they have all the things necessary, and these Joe Smacks running around in costumes aren't running up in their places because they're actually carrying themselves appropriately. They're not running around getting drunk, get into a fight, and have to reenact and do dumb shit. While you, the most important people, remain collaborators in your own delusion. Gripe. Those are my gripes. If you're still watching the media, something's wrong with you. If you're still having communicating and arguments with certain individuals about and they're miming everybody to death, something is wrong with you. You don't even believe in who you are. If you're still following and watching people that just rah drama fill all the time, won't continue to do yourself a disservice. I don't know why you even come here. If you have a hard time correlating an actual response that is mutual and nurturing of self and libation so everybody else can see it emanating from you to take on that of themselves, then you are a fool playing a fool's game on a fool's plane. You're not dealing with reality at all. And they need you not to be dealing in reality. I need to go and get this stuff. I just wanted to share that. When I get home, I will be reading. I know I just been reading 3 books instead of the Giants and the Enoch. I wanted to put that to side. I was going to read it later in the Book of America. I just tired. And then there's people want to talk to me for like hours, man. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong, but dude, it's been regular for the last like 3 weeks, man. People have been, and it's like, I don't want to say to them because I don't find the importance of saying no. Because the questions and the questions and everything are legitimate. You see what I'm saying? They are legitimate. But there's going to be a time when I'm going to have to say, no. No. I've got to take care of this. I have to do this. You know, I'm not, one thing I don't push is, I don't want to push violence. I don't believe in it. A lot of y'all don't even know what real violence is. I don't push separation and division. I do believe that we need to be with our own people. For whatever period of time, I really do. Government needs to go about their way, which they really don't have any relationship with us. The fact that you are part of the consortium, you believe that. Well, that's a whole nother dynamic. I don't want to address and readdress that here. You have a lot of people talking law, this and that. No, there's nothing wrong with that. It's good to know these things because you are still very separated and far apart. But what I am stating is, if you don't want to get out of where you at, because I'm talking to some people, it seems like it's impossible for them to realize that they need to leave where they're from, where they're at. And that's because if you want to know what MK Ultra is, that's what it is. MK Ultra is like the spiders being given different drugs, and watch what they do as they build their web. And even a comical one, I don't know if I shared it on here, where it talks about, and we gave the one spider THC and he went down and made a hammock and he just chilled out. And then we gave one alcohol and he went down and he just watched, and he watched the guy on LSD going crazy. And then we gave the other one another drug and he said, fuck everybody, excuse my language. And you know, I'm just saying, that's the comical side of it. The reality is, that's like MK Ultra, to control the minds, to manipulate and keep people from doing what they actually do and have them doing something else. You know, look at all the people. If you're an experiment, gone wrong, or you've done exactly what you need, they will lock you up. And they'll feed you good. But you will not be able to come out because they know that there's nothing you would do but more trouble. And you already served your purpose. You need to know that right now, on this land, you running around worried about the vax, and you got these idiots who are willing to protect one another for the vax. And this is not medical information. I'm not telling you what to get or what not to get. I'm not here for that. I'm not here to tell you whether it's bad or good. What I am saying is, they have been spraying and poisoning you food, clothes. How about the babies that were dying from lead and mercury poisoning and a few other things? Sudden, they call it sudden SID, sudden infant death, crib death. Because it was the toys they were playing with made in China until they corrected that. But that was done with a purpose, to see. Now, you can look that up. Okay? I need y'all to snap out of it and don't start just throwing information around. Relegate to yourself, make sure your family know, and if they want to dismiss you as crazy or lunatic, like you belong in a lunacy asylum, then you dismiss them. You have to. I get tired when I hear people going, but that's my family. What? You are my family. Seriously. I mean, I don't cut that and chop that like on a salad, you know. I know. You're my family. Because ones around you did a good job or a bad job. God damn it. That doesn't mean that's what you do. We're going to have a talk. Calling me while I'm on fucking live. Anyway, That's what we're going to do.
All right. I'm gonna to this.